Hi everybody, Mike here, and I got a lot to catch up on. Let's see, where do we start? Well, I start with a big thing. This is my new truck. We've talked before, and if you're a follower of our various live streams, you know that my previous truck, the Ford F-250, massive damage to the fuel system because I put some DEF in the fuel tank. Not much, but enough that over 5 months it just ruined everything. And the repair cost would have been so high that it was better to get a new truck. So I have a new truck, and I'm really excited about it. This is a long bed. This is a Ford F-350. It's the Lariat model, turbo diesel, 6.7 liter engine, 10-speed automatic transmission. Awesome. I love it. I towed the fifth wheel yesterday to Elkhart and Keystone RV. I had to get a leak fixed in the for the washer dryer. I'll tell you about that in a few minutes, but let's talk first about the truck. Couple things I like about the truck. One, it is a long bed, and I have to tell you, I really noticed the difference in towing. Much more stable, much smoother. Did not feel the bumps that I felt when I was towing with the 250. 250 did a great job, but much better, marked improvement on it. Now, when I got the new truck, that meant I had to do a whole bunch of other things. The key factor there was how am I going to tow, right? So I had to have my hitch. This is a little ladder I used to get in and out, but I had to have my Curt 20,000-pound hitch taken out of the 250 and put in here, and I'll tell you, that saved me a lot because the 250 was a shorter bed, and therefore I had to have a sliding rail system, and they had to put some various parts on with it, and between that and the sliding rail system, which is right here, oh my goodness, this thing, I don't know what that weighs, maybe, I don't know, 75 pounds maybe. And then with the rails and a couple of other things, I saved 100 pounds on it. Now I made that all up because I put a washer and dryer in, and I put something else in the truck, which I'll show you in a second here. But that was the first big thing, getting the hitch installed, taken out of the 250, and then this has a puck system, so it was very easy to put in. We did have to get a couple of extra parts, but it was very simple to put in. And I tell you that it's easier, I think, maybe it's just my imagination, but it seems easier to me to actually hitch up and unhitch with this thing. It takes up less room because it doesn't have those rails, those sliding rails. They're not needed. There's so much room for when I turn. I'm not going to have to worry about smashing out my rear window, which I did on the first big trick when I was towing it with the 250 in the short bed. That's not going to happen. Now, some of you have written and said, how come you didn't get dualies? Well, I don't like dualies. I think they look ugly, and I know those who have them say, oh, it makes the ride so much smoother, but it also is more challenging. Some freeways out east don't like you to use dualies. They want you to have a different, I'm told, a different license to drive. I don't know how true all that is. I just know I don't like the looks of dualies. My Montana high country at 35 feet tows perfectly as it is. I don't want them. So the bottom line is I didn't want them, and Jennifer didn't like them either. She didn't think they looked good. So I didn't get dualies, and I'm glad of it. I did get a cover, and I didn't get a hard cover. I'm more than happy with just this vinyl cover, strong vinyl. That's what I had on my 250, and that's been installed. And then let's talk some more about the truck. Lots of room inside. Got some stuff I'm going to be installing today. This is my GMRS radio. We're going to install that. This is my dash cam that will be installed. I am trying to figure out an antenna mounting system, and I won't have it in time for this big trip we've got coming up, but it's going to go up there. It's from Bulletproof, a company called Bulletproof, and it will basically it'll be behind the light fixture there and that rear camera. And then I'll have 2 antennas, one for GMRS and one for ham radio. Meantime, I'm going to do I've got to have a system for GMRS for our trip to the Maritimes, and I'll hook that up in a little while, and I'll show you how that works. That camera is awesome. Let me show you the view. It was a pouring rain day yesterday when I drove to Elkhart, but I love that camera because it is focused right on my hitch. Not only does that make it very easy to back up and hitch up, it also lets me do a quick check, and let me roll some video as I'm talking so you can see what it looks like. Isn't that nice? And it's so easy to back up. I can come right online with that camera. There's a couple of other cameras on this truck as well, but for different views. But man, I love that. Lots of room in the back here for Bo. That's his place. We got his cover on the seat. I do like the larger screen here. You can see that, which I just showed you that in the video that was taken of the trailer hitched up. I like that. Okay, what don't I like? Only 2 things. Number one, and I guess this is a trend, there is no manual with this. There's no printed manual. There is one online, and there's a couple of lame Ford videos in the entertainment system that you can use that are inaccurate. They don't apply to every model. So that's pretty useless. But it's a big factor that they don't give you a printed manual. Well, you can go online, they say. Well, you want to go online at 10 o'clock in the middle of a rainstorm when you have a question about something with the RV? No, you're not going to do that. You might not have a cell signal, and it's just not very comfortable. So, no, I think that's inexcusable. That is chinson at the cost of consumers, and I think it's a potential safety hazard not to give you a printed manual. So that I did not like. Something else I didn't like, and I don't know whether it is an option, on my F-250 Lariat model, there was a button that you pushed here, and some slide and a step came down, as well as a support rod here, so you could just kind of step up and easily get in the back to the cab. They don't have that on this. If it was an option, it wasn't available that I knew about. Now there is a little step there, and that kind of works. You can step here and get in, and then kind of swing over. And you saw I have a little ladder in there that I use but I've always had that. That's just, I put that right here, and then I can easily take care of the hitch when I'm hooking up and unhooking. So I've got some other stuff. I want to hook up the 2-way radios. I want to get the dash cam going. So I have all that stuff for our trip that is just in a few days to the Maritimes. And I don't know, I don't think I'll be able to get the bulletproof antenna mounts up and installed. I'm reluctant because it's so costly. They charge you for this dual antenna system like $540. It's ridiculous, but it's very nice, and it makes for a neat installation. But I'm going to see what I can do, and we'll go from there. So that's the truck. So far it's been great. I really like it. Mileage, just going back and forth. Towing, I got about 12.8. That's towing from Southwest Michigan into Elkhart and back. It seems like it's almost 20 miles on the highway when I'm not towing. So I'm very impressed with the mileage so far. It is diesel. One other thing, and this was the cause of my problem with the F-250, Ford still has the DEF right next to the fuel. Now, when I screwed up, it was a rainstorm. No excuses, but it was a rainstorm. Traffic was tough. I was at a truck stop. I had trucks behind me that wanted to use the pumps. I was in a hurry. I filled up the diesel, and then I went over to take the DEF nozzle, and I had that open, but I wasn't paying attention, and I put about a quart in there. And bad move. That really, what I should have done is shut down immediately, but I didn't. And hey, it's water under the bridge. miles on the road, under the tires, whatever. I have a new truck, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. Man, that was a costly mistake. All right, so I'm up in the bed now, and I just want to show you this. This is something else I added. This is a toolbox, and I had in my 250, I always kept a few things in here. They'd get wet in the rain, they'd rattle around. I always worried about somebody stealing them, so this is really nice. This is a locking toolbox. It's from UWS. There's really quite a bit of room in there, and I'm going to take a lot of the stuff I keep and put that in. It is locking, which is really nice. It's not a key you got to carry, but that's great. But so much room in the bed of this long bed, and I'm very, very pleased with it. I think that I'm going to be happy with this truck. This is the little step ladder that I've always had, and I'm going to stick this right there, out of the way, easily accessible. And now I'm going to fill up some of the stuff that we carry with us and put it in the truck. I'm going to get a little round magnetic a little round disc that will go right in the center of the roof there, and it will hold one of my small little antennas that I'll be able to use temporarily for this trip for the Maritimes, so I'll have at least the GMRS radio. It's just a little disc that has an adhesive on it. I used that in the F-250 and it worked fine. But this bulletproof mount, you just remove this, put the mount on it, and there'll be two antennas. They run them down through the headliner, and I can put in really full-fledged antennas right there. Just gotta convince myself to spend the money and then get that and put it in. All right, so that's everything on the truck. Now, what about that washer leak that we had with our Montana? Leak solved, big check mark through that. And let me go in there and show you what we did to fix that. Well, here is the washer and dryer that we put in, and it works great. It really does. Just one problem: there was a leak, but it wasn't coming from anywhere in here. It was coming from under the bed. Now, the washer dryer, I don't know if I can actually show it in there, but let's see if I can get right in there. There's a little hose that goes in. I don't even think you can see it, but it goes into like a PVC pipe in there, and that's fine. But that PVC side then goes under, and this is on the slide, by the way, under the bed, right about there. Now, I could not access it. We had somebody come, and if you remove the mattress, you'll see in a minute there's storage under this half of the bed. Big piece of plywood for a floor. It's open for about 2 feet there, and you could see underneath here where the pipes were, but the guy got under there and he thought they were cross-threaded. The drain pipe. The hose from the drain on the washer goes into a larger drain, and that goes into a hunk of PVC, which goes into the gray tank. That hunk of PVC it goes into, he thought the connection was cross-threaded, and that's where the leak was, but he couldn't reach it because he only had a little bit of room. So the challenge was to get underneath the storage here, and there's this big piece of plywood under there. Now that plywood was stapled down, and so when I took this to the factory, the first thing the guy said is it shouldn't have been stapled. So he got the staples out, and then we drilled a little mouse hole here. And let me turn on the lights in here and see if I can show you. So this is really nice. I can now just stick my finger in there and lift up, and there you see the piping. Now I took a picture, and I'll show the picture a little bit. But we got a new housing, properly threaded it, and then clamped it off great at a couple of spots. So they did a check, and the leak is now over. They checked, and no more water's leaking out, so the washer and dryer was fixed. But if you have a situation like this with a piece of plywood under storage, what many people suggest is take those staples out, and that's kind of a hassle, but get them out, and then put some wood screws in. You can get the wood screws, but drill a little something that you can pull it up with so that you can get in there should there ever be a leak underneath there. Our problem is solved, and we're ready to use that washer and dryer on this long trip that we have coming up. And we have done one more thing, and that is install the RV lock here on our fifth wheel. It's just so handy. You just basically punch in a code, and you don't have to have a key. You can punch in, it's locked, and then you punch in your code to unlock it. We are big fans of that RV lock, but Jennifer's the one who really likes it. Hey, you're getting ready to clean it up, huh?
Yeah, I've got a little surprise that I got to clean up in there, so
yeah,
I guess I'll get to work.
Little mess I made. Yeah,
no, I don't think you made it.
Yeah. So you ready for this trip?
No. As far as packing and all that, no. Psychologically, yes, but physically, no.
Well, we are excited about it, I'll tell you that. And truck's ready. The RV will soon be ready. You always clean it before we go, which is really nice.
Yeah, I like things squeaky
Then that
clean.
first night, you get in bed and everything's fresh.
Yes.
And now, with the washer dryer, we'll have fresh clothes.
It's going to be really nice.
Yeah. This trip we're going to the Canadian Maritimes is going to last 6 to 8 weeks. It's only a 27-day tour, but we end up there in Prince Edward Island, and then we have to make our way back. So we're going to take our time, probably spend about an equal amount of time coming back. So it's just really nice to be able to pack enough clothes to take with us. Still got more to put in there. To have everything, ready to go. Now, one of the things that we will not take a lot of extra stuff is water. Water weighs 8.32 pounds per gallon, and so I always end up not taking a lot of fresh water on us. In this case, I've got not quite a third of a tank of fresh water, and that's because it weighs so much, and it's hard to really carry all of that water, all the bumps. It's just a lot of stress on the tank, and I've seen enough pictures where people's water tank have fallen off. So we never travel with a full water tank. We do pack up the RV pretty darn good.
Okay, we're getting there. We're getting set. You might have wondered why the refrigerator and freezer doors are open. I came out earlier in the week and cleaned it out really good. No matter how hard I try, when we get home from a past trip, it seems like there's a little bit of water that's left here and there, and then it turns to mold, so then it's really easy to figure out where the mold is and clean it out. But it's nice and clean. And I like to keep a box of baking soda in the door to absorb odors, and you're supposed to change that out every 30 days. But I got a new box of soda in there, and the refrigerator is ready. We will probably turn it on. We're leaving Wednesday. We'll probably turn it on Tuesday, maybe Monday night. And then I'm going to pack it up as much as I can. And I've started bringing just a couple of things out, and I'm leaving it out so that I can look and say, oh yeah, I got ketchup, mustard, pickles, that sort of thing.
I've learned the hard way when I see it like that, not to put it away, because that's where you leave it, so you can see it.
I leave it so that I can get a feel for it. I like to take the paper towels, paper plates that I need, the cleaning products that I want to take, leave those out to make sure I've got enough. I like to go under the sink where everything is for cleaning and make sure I've got enough. I don't want to have to run to the store for this, that, or the other thing. And it's getting there. We have lots of cupboard space in this vehicle, so it's tempting to take too much. but I'm going to try to control myself and not make this rig too heavy.
So, hey, thank you guys so much for watching. Next up, you'll see us. We'll probably share some video along the way. And we start off this fantasy RV tour with a lobster dinner in Maine. And then the next day, we start at pretty much Canadian National Park. And then we make our way into the Maritimes. And we'll be coming to you from there. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell icon. Then you'll know when we have new reports. We'll see you guys down the road.
Happy trails.